What we're getting done today is going to prepare these beds to start putting in plants. We're using the BCS tractor here, and we're tilling a shallow tillage, and I basically adjust it so that we can just terminate the cover crop. I'm Justin Hitt from Prosperity Homestead, and what we're doing is we're preparing the beds, terminating the cover crop, and as you can see, there's still plenty of rocks in here. Plenty of rocks, and big rocks, small rocks. The key is shallow tillage is going to break up the surface of the soil. It's going to just barely incorporate the shredded materials in with the soil, and it's going to turn this into something that's ready to start planting in. Now, can this shallow tillage create a dead pan that's up higher in the soil? And I'm going to tell you, it won't in most cases, because what we're doing is we're only kind of tearing up the top 2 or 3 inches of soil, and that's just where the roots are from this grass that was the cover crop. And you can see how it's nice soil. It doesn't compact things too much. The BCS itself, or lightweight tillers at a shallow depth, are really not that much pressure on the soil, but we're basically just terminating all of the cover crops that were here so that we can get in and start planting our plants from seed or from starts. You can see here how the thick grass layers, the cover crops have been chopped and dropped, and we're simply just working that first inch or 3 of soil. We're not digging deep, again, because all we want to do is cut off the grass clump, and it will reduce the chance of it coming back. Now, again, we're exposing soil, so you want to do this where you can quickly get some crops in. And then how do we manage these beds? Well, these wider beds, we can manage them by putting footpaths down the center of them and planting on either side of that, or simply walking down the backside and doing kind of a keyhole method. But again, the flat terraces are so we can grow on the hills here and ultimately slow and spread water. And you can see I got quite a few beds to do. Another thing you want to look out for is the reason I left this large vegetative strip is so I could get as close to the edge as possible, where I'm still going to have kind of a walking path. So at the top of this, there's a bund, and I want to make sure that I still got a walking path on the bund, because once this grass is cut down and used as mulch, I want to be sure that I can know where the edges of things are. You don't want to go downhill on accident with a tiller that weighs, over 200 pounds, because it'll pull you over the hill and you can run into trouble. So again, what we're doing is we're taking the beds and we're starting to put them into productivity. And again, you don't have to do this with a tiller. You could heavy mulch this. I could layer in big, thick mounds of straw and do that. It would kill the grass. But we want to avoid sprays. We want to avoid herbicides, and we want to avoid anything that's going to damage the soil profile. So that's why we're not tilling deep. We're simply surface tilling to break up the grasses and make available the soil that we're not competing with our cover crop. The cover crop will still come back, but ultimately we don't want to compete with it early. And some of these beds I can see where I might want to make this a big area by itself, because I got some narrow beds here and there. But again, this is a pattern based on the land. It's working with the soil. It's working with the organic material that we're not putting it into the soil, though. We're just swishing it around on the surface. No different than what would happen if you used a heavy rake or something like that. I'm Justin Hitt with Prosperity Homestead. I'm going to keep giving you updates on this. Visit www.prosperityhomestead.org with your questions. Thanks for watching.